Hey guys, I've got lots of good news today. First off, the weather's fantastic. 80 degrees, mid-April in Chicago, very unusual. Secondly, one of my viewers had the correct schematics for the Hallicrafters 506, and he was nice enough to scan them for me and email them to me, so thank you very much for that. Now I have a much better idea of what I'm dealing with. It also solved the mystery of a couple high voltage capacitors. One of them looked to be very wrong on this set, and it turns out it was a replacement, and they replaced it with an incorrect value. So this does, in fact, call for a couple 0.03 microfarad 6,000 volt caps. The other bit of good news is that the parts order came in. Now, because of the specialized high voltage capacitors, I had to order from Allied Electronics, who carries these nice big ASC caps. You can also get them from Just Radios, but I needed a bunch of other parts, and Allied Electronics had a better assortment of what I needed. Now, neither place carries 0.03 microfarad, so I went with 0.022. I could have also gone with 0.047, but they cost twice as much as these, and I think this will be close enough, so we'll see how this works out. Worst case scenario, I gotta order the other ones and see how they work. So I got some nice electrolytics, some nice film caps. But in my haste, I made a really dumb mistake, which is why pay attention when you're ordering parts. When it came to getting these 0.25, or rather, sorry, 0.22 microfarad caps, I meant to get these axial style. Instead, I got the PC mount caps. So unless I attach some wires to these so that I can mount them, like this type, I really can't use these. So unless I can scrape up some out of my supply, I'm gonna have to place another order. Oh well. Now for the resistors, I actually ordered these from Mouser Electronics, partly because I needed some stuff that only they had, but also because in my crazy attempt to make this look as original as possible, I wanted to go with carbon composition resistors. And Mouser has a nice assortment that look exactly the same as the ones they used way back when, but only in half-watt styles and maybe 1-watt styles. But I also need some 2-watt. I searched around online and I did find a place that sells them, and it's a place for enthusiasts that want to build their own tube amp. They look really nice, but they're $3 per resistor. So my crazy attempt to make it look authentic may stop at that point, but we'll see. I'll use some modern metal film caps to get it working, and then when I'm feeling like I got some money to spend on $3 resistors, maybe I'll order some out. Yeah, aside from these caps, I think I got all the parts I need for the Hallicrafters now. The other thing I wanted to get from Mouser were these grommets, which is what was holding up my Spartan 400 and Westinghouse WR8 project. These go on the chassis and prevent the wires from chafing against the edges of the metal when they feed through. And the last thing I got was a nice big old honkin' 260/200 watt soldering gun. I currently only have a 150 watt soldering gun, and it just wasn't producing enough heat to melt the big glob solder joints on those steel chassis. I asked around online, and this came highly recommended, so I hope that works out really well. The final thing I got today was something I picked up off of eBay, which is yet another sweep marker alignment generator, which will be my third. They all have their own peculiarities, pluses and minuses. That's why I ended up with 3 of them. This one in particular is nice because it's got the original manual and all the original cables, which I'm missing from the other 2. Some of these cables are really specialized, like this guy, which has a built-in 50 ohm termination on the end, and then you clip these onto the antenna and puts in the television set. Also, these type of connectors are a little hard to find these days. They screw on like this. All the test equipment I've seen from the 40s and 50s uses these types. These are what they had before PL259 and before they had BNC. If you do have some equipment like this and you can't find these connectors, generally you can take a PL259 and cut down the center pin really short, and they'll fit on here fairly well. Also kind of neat this has the original crystal. Pop that up. There we go. Which are pretty cool crystals. They made these way back when. Well, they're actually like bolted together, and there's a big hunk of quartz inside. This plugs in here so you can do a very precise marker. This one actually also works in a different way. They call this a post-injection marker. So it actually injects the markers after the signal goes through the TV and comes out to the demodulation probe. So aside from being filthy, it looks to be in pretty good shape. All the dials work. So I hope to get this working fairly soon and try aligning some of those sets I restored recently, because I'm still not quite happy with the way the sound turned out. Alright, I think that's it for now. I'm going to get cracking on this set, and I'll pick up when I've made some more progress on it.